Hello, I'm Oma Iguara, and you're welcome to this presentation. AI belongs to everyone, closing the digital opportunity gap through inclusive AI education. This presentation is for schools, educators, families, communities, policymakers, and anyone who's curious about AI and what business it might have in education. The goals of this presentation are to build familiarity and comfort with AI through relatable examples, to reduce fear based resistance and replace it with informed caution and agency, to position inclusive AI education as an equity and rights issue, to help adults reflect on their role and remove unintentional barriers to access, and to equip the audience with clear, practical next steps for inclusive AI engagement. So, what happens when parents, educators, and communities misunderstand and therefore block access to AI? How does this impact children's and young people's present and futures? Is there a way to support ethical and responsible AI use? If you're interested in the answers to these questions, stay with me through this presentation. It's divided into five sections. The first part explores what AI is. The second part explores what place does AI have in education. In the third section, we'll be looking at gatekeeping in AI, how this happens and what its impacts are. Then we'll look into ways to supporting empowering AI use. And in the final section, we will wrap this presentation up and I will share additional resources with you and ways that you can get more support with supporting AI education in your community. Understanding AI. What is AI? Choose the best fitting definition of AI. Let's look through these and you'll pick the one that best defines AI. A. AI is a type of robot that thinks and acts like a human, including having feelings and emotions. B. AI is software that can perform tasks using human like thinking, such as learning, solving problems, or making decisions, often without needing to be programmed for every step. C. AI is when a computer can do anything a human can do, including understanding everything and making moral choices on its own. D. AI is the name for any digital device or app that uses the internet, like smartphones or social media. Which of these do you think best defines AI? I'll give you a few seconds to have a think. B. The answer is B. AI is software that can perform tasks using human like thinking, such as learning, solving problems, or making decisions, often without needing to be programmed for every step. Now, let us note that AI software acts like it is thinking because it is programmed to perform the logical steps that humans perform when they think, but it isn't actually thinking. So when we look at AI is a type of robot that thinks and acts like a human, including having feelings and emotions. It does appear to be thinking and acting like a human, but it doesn't have feelings and emotions. AI also, looking at C, it cannot make moral choices on its own. It doesn't have a mind, a heart, or lived experiences, so it can't make moral choices. And as for D, AI doesn't always use the internet. Is AI a new invention? Is it something that has just come on the scene? Let's have a brief look through history on the development of AI. Now, this is not going to touch on every single point in the history of AI, just a few key points. In the 1950s, Alan Turing asked, "Can machines think?" He said if a computer could chat like a human, it might be called intelligent. And that question started the journey to today's AI, like the chatbots we use now. In 1997, IBM's supercomputer Deep Blue beat world chess champion Garry Kasparov, and that was a major milestone. A machine had outperformed a human at a complex strategic game. It showed that AI could process massive amounts of data and make smart decisions. About that time, AI powered automation was beginning to enter factories and offices. From automated telephone systems to predictive typing in word processors, AI started to shape how people worked, often in ways that they didn't even notice. For example, call centers shifting to automated menus, Microsoft Word offering autocorrect and grammar suggestions. AI powered automation had gradually crept into the way people were working. Then in 2011, Apple introduced Siri, the first widely used voice assistant, and suddenly everyday people were using AI on their phones, asking for directions, setting alarms, sending messages. This marked a shift. AI was no longer just for scientists or tech experts or in labs or in factories, it was now in our pockets. People began using voice assistants to search for homework help, set reminders, play music, use speech to text, calendar automation, recommendation systems, began to streamline admin and communication. AI was finally in the mainstream. And then fast forward to 2022, OpenAI launched ChatGPT and everything changed again. We moved from AI that followed instructions to AI that could generate human like writing, answer questions, even hold conversations. And this was the moment that AI truly entered our daily conversations. People use ChatGPT to write CVs, generate lesson plans, plan meals, draft letters, solve math problems, and even get emotional support. So AI is now being used in classrooms, homes, businesses, in practically every facet of our lives, whether we call it AI or not. So AI has been decades in the making and it is constantly evolving, not just in laboratories, it has evolved in our lives. We've gone from theory, Alan Turing's question, to tools that now touch every part of our lives: work, learning, leisure, and more. So here's a quiz for you. Do you currently use any form of AI at work, for your daily living, get out and about? Do you use any form of AI? Yes, no, I'm not sure. Let's take a look. Now, in the following slides, we're going to be looking at 10 ways you may already be using AI. And here are 10 of them. We're going to go through them one by one. I've classified AI here by function in 10 different ways. Generative AI creates something new. For example, smart word suggestions, auto enhance, phone editing filters, voice to text, autocorrect, avatar generators, cartoonizer apps. These are all examples of AI that's used to create something new. So if you've ever done any of these, for example, your phone automatically editing your pictures, you have used generative AI. Predictive AI makes statements about the future based on existing information and evidence. For example, weather apps giving you what the weather's going to look like for the next week. Google auto complete, completing your sentences or your words that you're writing. Shopping apps, early risk spotting in healthcare. These are all examples of predictive AI in use. Descriptive AI helps us understand what is happening by summarizing or explaining data. For example, smartwatches and fitness trackers that might explain to you what your exercise has been like all through the week and what that might mean for you. Banking apps, customer feedback dashboards, email apps summarizing your email use for the week, telling you how much you've used email this week. These are all examples of descriptive AI. Prescriptive AI suggests what to do next. For example, Google Maps, where should I go at rush hour? How do I get from A to B in the quickest possible way? YouTube suggestions, people who watch this also watch that. Would you like to watch this? Spotify Daily Mix, Tesco online recommendations, people who bought this also bought that. These are all examples of predictive AI. Discriminative AI sorts or classifies information such as spam filters, sorts through the email coming into your inbox, gets a feel of which ones are your regular emails that you read and which ones might be spam based on certain characteristics. Face recognition, unlocking the phone. Your phone will not unlock for just any face. It understands, in quotes, what it presented before it and is able to recognize your face and then unlock your phone. Photo apps grouping pictures. In my some of my devices, I've got my all of the pictures that have my face are automatically grouped into a folder called OMA. And then job portal filter CVs. These are all examples of discriminative AI classifying information. Conversational AI talks with us, for example, Siri, Alexa, or Google Assistant, customer service chatbots, virtual tutors, and AI travel assistants. We're not really talking to people. Sometimes when you go on websites that have conversational AI, it will tell you, I'm not really a person. I will try my best to answer some of your questions. This is conversational AI. Perceptual sensory AI helps computers make sense of things they see or hear. Face ID unlocking, voice to text transcription apps, medical imaging, CCTV systems. These are all AI making sense of things it, quote, sees and hears. Then we've got decision making AI. It makes choices. For example, Google Maps travel planning. What's the fastest route? What's the least expensive route? Netflix or Spotify suggestions. People who watch this also watch that. Self checkout systems, fraud detection in banking apps. These are all examples of decision making AI. Does any of this sound familiar? Have you used any of these? We've also got reinforcement learning systems, and these learn the best way to do things by trial and error, such as robotic vacuum cleaners that learn the layout of your home and understand how and where to go to clean your house. Games adjusting for skill level, self driving cars, smart home systems that learn exactly how hot or how cool you want your home, when to turn the lights on, when to turn the lights off. If the lights are on at a time that's not usual for you, you might get an alarm telling you to switch your lights off. This is all reinforcement learning systems that learn by trial and error. You might find the lights going on at a wrong time, for example. When you give feedback saying this is not the time for the lights to go on, the system then learns from your feedback and makes sure that it does it right the next time. Symbolic AI uses rules, logic, and symbols to think through problems such as grammar and spell checkers. They've been programmed with the rules of grammar. And so if you write anything that's outside of those rules, you get an alert that your spelling or your grammar needs adjusting. GPS navigation, eligibility checkers for benefits, loans, school applications, tax refunds. These are all examples of symbolic AI. So, have you used or experienced any of these AI applications? Did any of these come as a surprise to you? Did you tick no at the beginning of this exercise, saying, no, I don't use any AI, and now you've seen that you use quite a few AI applications in your day to day living? Then this might be you. When you say you don't use AI, but Google Maps, Netflix, and your spam filter say otherwise. So now we know what AI is, what AI is not. We've seen examples of AI that we might be using in our everyday life. Let's consider the benefits and the concerns about AI so that we have a balanced understanding of it and we are informed decision makers as to how we will use AI, how we will engage or not engage with it. Now, looking at the benefits of AI, one of them is speed. We have platforms in the learning setting, for example, platforms such as Quizlet AI Tutor, which is a tutoring app, and Duolingo Max, which is a language learning app. These apps give pupils instant answers and step by step explanations so they learn from their mistakes straight away and do not have to wait for a teacher. In a classroom setting, this can ensure that each learner gets the help they need as soon as they need it. Now, I've been a teacher for many years. If you have a class of 30 children, as much as you might like to, you cannot give instant feedback to every child at the point when they need it. So they might be waiting, the bell might go for the next lesson. Some people don't get the support they need and they have to come back for further support in the next lesson. But educational theory tells us that learning feedback is most impactful as close to the learning experience as possible. So the sooner they get the feedback, the more permanent the learning from that feedback will be. So if you use AI applications to speed up support for your students, this is one of the benefits of AI in education. 24/7 access. Khan Academy is some online learning platform. With Khan Academy's AI tutor, children can get support anytime, even without a private tutor. So Duolingo comes up here again, and Coursera, that's a learning platform. Coursera's AI coach, they can give instant feedback, say on pronunciation, grammar, or written assignments, helping adults build skills quickly without waiting for a tutor. So for learners that don't have access to a private tutor, or learners that don't even have access to qualified teachers, 24/7 access any time of the day or night, AI enables learners to have this support. Customization. Microsoft Immersive Reader and Read and Write by TextHelp use AI to read aloud, translate and simplify text for learners with dyslexia or for learners who are new to English. So again, learning is customized so that everybody gets the support that they need. Personalization. LinkedIn Learning's AI recommendations suggest courses based on someone's career goals and skills gaps, tailoring learning paths for working adults. Isn't that a lovely thing? If you don't have access to a career coach, someone to help you plan your career or identify what courses you should be studying next, LinkedIn offers this support through this application of AI. Efficiency. Grammarly and Jasper AI, for example, help learners and professionals draft emails, draft reports, essays faster, reducing time spent on working on writing tasks and freeing up energy for learning or work. So some people are concerned about using AI for drafting letters and doing things like this, and isn't it cheating? But think of it this way: if you had to draft a letter or do some form of writing and you are not sure how to start, you would go to a friend, a colleague, someone who knew how, and ask them for tips. Or you might Google, you might have a textbook that you consult. So this is all help that you would normally have to go looking for. But with AI, you get instant suggestions. Instead of staying there looking at a blank screen, you've got immediate help. So it enables you to be more efficient. And I know someone who suffers from dyslexia who used to struggle to write reports and was embarrassing at work, and they didn't want to admit that they were struggling. But when they learned how to use AI tools, that embarrassment was taken away because they had the instant support that they needed. So, another way that AI is beneficial in education is that it supports inclusion. For example, Otter AI transcribes lessons for hearing impaired learners. Speech to text tools support children who struggle with writing. VoiceIt helps adults with speech difficulties communicate clearly by turning non-standard speech into text or voice others can understand. And Seeing AI by Microsoft reads text, describes surroundings, and recognizes objects for adults with visual impairments. Now, these are just some examples of tools, platforms, technology that uses AI to provide benefits to learners in these ways. Now let's look at the concerns, because there are concerns. Now, some people are concerned that AI is programmed with biases, which, because it is programmed by people, their biases inevitably will enter into AI applications. What is being done about this? The UK Department for Science, Innovation and Technology, for example, is working to mitigate bias in AI by setting guidelines and supporting research to ensure AI systems are fair, transparent, and safe for everyone. This is just one example of an initiative that is working to correct bias, and there are very, very many. Rightly, many of us are concerned about the impact of AI on the environment. It uses a lot of energy, electricity, and a lot of water. Now, the UK's national AI strategy supports the development of energy efficient AI and encourages the use of green technologies aiming to reduce the environmental impact of AI while promoting innovation that's sustainable and responsible. There are several initiatives working on this challenge, and so we can rest assured that this is being handled. UNESCO, as far as cognitive impact is concerned, some people are concerned about brain rot. Are we all going to become lazy and unable to think because we outsource everything to AI? UNESCO published a global guide recommending that AI in education should help people think and learn better, not to replace people. It should support skills like digital know-how, thinking about how we learn, and making good and fair choices. So governments all around the world have recognized the possible benefits of AI, and at the same time are working to make sure that we don't become so dependent upon it that we stop thinking. So you can rest assured that this is also being handled. Unethical AI use. Some people are concerned that AI will get into wrong hands and we'll all be done for. Now, the UK government is making sure AI is used safely, fairly, and responsibly. Schools and public services can follow guidance such as Understanding AI, Ethics and Safety. There's a link to that in the bibliography. Big tech companies like Google and Meta are working to create ways to mark and spot fake videos and voices by AI so we can tell what is real and what is not. So it's very important to get involved, stay connected, lend your voice so that we hold these tech companies to account and make them keep AI safe. Another concern is job loss. You may have heard people say AI is coming to take our jobs. Now, there are many government initiatives all around the world to upskill the populace because as some jobs are becoming extinct, new jobs are being created, and the technology required for those new jobs, there are government initiatives to upskill people in that. One of them is AI. For example, in education, the UK Department for Education is using AI to make teaching better and is helping teachers and students learn the digital skills they need for the future. Now, the World Economic Forum is helping people learn new skills and get better jobs so they are not left behind as AI changes the world of work. Again, there are many other initiatives working on this. And then AI autonomy. Some of us are concerned that AI might just be able to go off and do whatever it wants once it has been programmed. The UK AI Safety Institute has set up a special team to test powerful AI systems before they are used to check they will not cause harm or go wrong. And world leaders are working together to make sure AI stays safe, fair, and always under human control. Governments, researchers, and watchdogs are creating laws, ethical guidelines, and independent audits to hold AI companies accountable, pushing for transparency, safety, and fairness in how AI is developed and used. So the big picture is yes, there are valid concerns. But historically, we've always adapted. AI is not the first innovation we've ever encountered on the planet. There's been innovation since the dawn of time, but we have always adapted. There's constantly research going on, new legislation. We have always adapted and we will continue to do so. So, what remains is the challenge to use AI responsibly and ethically. Now, what does that look like? Responsible AI use involves one, thinking critically about AI outputs. Don't take everything AI says at face value. You still must do your due diligence. Remember, it's just a tool. So every output of AI, you must fact check and be aware that AI can reflect biases in the data it was trained on. So the onus is still on you to fact check. To avoid over relying on AI for thinking or learning, use it to support your thinking, not replace it. Use AI as a partner, not a surrogate. Try to solve problems yourself before using AI tools, especially for writing, learning, or decision making. 3, limit unnecessary use to reduce environmental impact. AI tools use a lot of energy and water, as I've mentioned previously. And just as we are mindful, for example, of switching off lights or unplugging devices, we also need to avoid excessive or frivolous use of AI, especially when simpler tools will do. For example, you don't need to use AI to multiply 297 times 322. You can use a calculator for that. And 4, protect your data and privacy. Be careful what personal information you share with AI tools, especially in chatbots or platforms that don't clearly explain how your data is going to be used. And 5, raise awareness and advocate for fair AI use. Talk about the risks and benefits with your colleagues, your friends, your family. Help others, especially children or those less tech savvy, to understand what AI is and how to use it wisely. If we do all of these, we're helping ourselves and others in our community to use AI responsibly. So now we've finished chapter 1, where we've looked at what AI is, what it is not, what are the benefits, what are the concerns, how are the concerns being handled, and how can we use AI responsibly. Let's look at the place of AI in education. Every kid uses technology daily, but should we use AI in education? So they're using it at home, no doubt. Should we be using it in education? Let's have a think. These are 3 reasons to use AI in education. 1, equality and inclusion. We have seen in the previous examples where I talked about the benefits of AI, we've seen how AI can level the playing field for learners, whether they are learners with disabilities, learners who are learning in a language that's not their first language, whether it is learners who are in digitally poor settings. AI can bring about equality and inclusion for all. Also, AI in education can help to make education fit for purpose. The reason why we go for education, the reason why we go to school, is to equip ourselves to thrive in our societies. So education that is fit for purpose has to address the issues of the day. One of the issues of the day is AI. We've already seen that AI is being used in our daily lives, even in ways that we may not be aware. One of the best places to be equipped for making critical decisions about AI is in our learning programs in school. So education must be fit for purpose. And also, it's every child's right to an adequate education. Article 28 of the United Convention on the Rights of the Child presents the right to a quality and equitable education. And AI literate education aligns with this right. If we exclude AI, it undermines this right. So for these 3 reasons alone, AI needs to feature in our education, whether it's explicitly teaching about AI in the curriculum, or using AI to support learning, or equipping our learners with AI skills so that they are comfortable with using it out in the community. These are 3 reasons why AI has a place in education. Let's take a moment to think about gatekeeping in AI. What might this look like? Gatekeeping in AI is when the people who have responsibility for a group of learners decide for some reason to keep them away from AI. It typically happens through parents, educators, and communities. If the parents are not fully informed about AI, rightly so, they'll be apprehensive concerning it, and they might try to safeguard their children and prevent them having anything to do with AI. Educators might be concerned about falling foul of school policies or being seen as cheating, and so they might stay away from it. Communities might follow media hype, causing fear rather than informed exploration. So these are ways in which gatekeeping of AI happens. People may not be aware that they're gatekeeping AI or preventing people from accessing it or learning about it, but these are some of the ways that it happens. And when this happens, we risk reinforcing educational and opportunity gaps. So those who already may be digitally poor and not have access to digital tools and resources and opportunities will be even further disadvantaged, because yet again, here's another tool that they're being prevented from learning how to use, and yet another tool that they are not being given enough information to be able to make informed decisions about. So we really don't want to be gatekeeping AI. So it happens through limiting access, creating fear or mistrust, failing to support development, reinforcing stereotypes, and missing personalized learning. All of these work together to further widen the educational and opportunity gaps, especially for people who are already underserved. So, what's the way forward? It behoves us as educators, as parents, as community leaders, as policymakers to demystify AI. At the very least, make sure people have information about what it actually is and not be going around with misconceptions, so that they can then make informed choices about how to use it. Build digital confidence in your community or your group of learners. Ensure all learners, especially those underserved, have the tools and opportunities to thrive, and support empowering AI use. What does empowering AI use look like? In schools, it means training staff in AI literacy, facilitating AI literacy throughout the school community. So, your teachers, your teaching assistants, the parents, the school governors, the entire school community. And this could take place through school assemblies, newsletters, your social media platforms, just bite sized information that your community can take on board so that they are informed about AI. Three, embed ethical AI use, whether this is in digital citizenship or whether it's in your computing classes, make it a part of the curriculum and in use. Use AI for inclusion, not just teacher and school efficiency. So, not just as tools that support teaching and learning, but for inclusion. For example, I did give examples of different ways that AI can be used to support, for example, those with visual impairments, those with hearing impairments, people who are learning English as a second language, and all different additional needs that people have. Further on, at the end of this presentation, I've included a free document for you that gives further examples of how AI can be used to support learners with special needs. So please stay on for that. And five, tap into community resources and resource people such as myself to support your school community's AI literacy efforts. In the home, upskilling for parents and carers. Everybody, just as when computers came, and over time we all became upskilled in the use of computers, the same goes for AI. It's important for everyone to learn. You don't need a degree. There's a lot of free information out there. Go to your local library, look online. There are a lot of free courses at your, maybe even at your local college, or government sponsored courses to get everyone up to speed. Demystify AI through conversations with your children. Talk about it while you eat, while you play, while you drive to the shops. Talk about the issues of the day, which at the moment includes AI. Encourage creative and critical use. Use AI to create a card for grandma's birthday. Use AI to create your shopping list and monitor your expenditure. And then supervise experimentation. Use AI with your children and have conversations about it. Normalize it. Even if you do not want your children having direct access to AI tools, at least get them to understand what it is, so that when they do grow up or move into secondary school, they have a basis to operate from instead of fear, have an informed basis instead of fear. So, communities, again, upskilling staff and volunteers at your local libraries, in the council, wherever they interface with the public, make sure everybody's upskilled. Keep tabs on AI developments and legislation. You can follow key voices in AI. You can sign up for newsletters. You can set up Google Alerts. You can join the TEKSHAQQ community. Join us on our website. Join us on our social media platforms. We occasionally drop information about latest happenings. By offering drop-in AI literacy sessions and collaborating with local digital inclusion initiatives such as TEKSHAQQ, my social enterprise for digital inclusion. We're here to help you. And the policymakers, by funding AI literacy in schools and communities, by developing national guidelines for ethical use, by recognizing AI literacy as a civic competency that's essential for all of us. It's not just a nice to have, it's essential for all of us. And by addressing bias through inclusive data sets, you will be supporting empowering AI use. So, in conclusion, AI is here to stay. It's been here since the 50s and it's not going away. The UK government aims for us to be at the forefront of innovation as far as technology is concerned. And there are a great deal of initiatives in place to upskill the public and get us maximizing the benefits of AI. And also, the government is greatly involved in initiatives to keep it safe for all of us. So it's here to stay. I would recommend we make peace with AI and start to understand it. Even if you choose to distance from it, at least you'll be making informed decisions about it. So, what have been your key takeaways from this presentation? What is one idea that has resonated the most with you? What one action could you take as a result of this presentation? What will you now explore further? I will give you a few seconds to make a note, write it down. What's resonated with you? What's one thing you could do? What's one thing you could explore? And please let's remember, AI literacy is a right, not a privilege. Remember the right to adequate education and education that is fit for purpose. We are preparing learners for their futures, not ours. And we have a duty of care to empower their digital futures. So let's unlock AI for all. We can do this by demystifying AI and supporting its ethical and empowering use. Use it wisely, share it fairly, and innovate boldly. We owe this to the children and young people in our care. So if you go to the download page, you will find AI in special educational needs and disability supports examples PDF I prepared for you. You can download it there. Here is a bibliography. Some of them are government papers, research papers on AI and its impacts. And we've now come to the end of this presentation. Thank you so much for spending time with me. You can contact me at this link that says contact. Connect with me on Instagram, TEKSHAQQ_C.I.C. Come visit my website, TEKSHAQQ.com. And if you're an organization that would like to collaborate with me in supporting AI literacy, visit this link. Thank you.